Welcome to my talk, Become the Author of Your Life with Natural Learning. Thanks for the invitation to speak at the reLearn Festival 2020. My name is reLearn2020. I'm from Austria and I'm a landscape architect, a learning coach and facilitator and father of 4 children. I also want to invite this giraffe, which helped me especially in these times of lockdown, where you had many virtual sessions to stay calm, argument quietly, and this comes from a practice and it's a symbol for non-violent communication. My life has already many chapters. Breaks, or literally speaking, caesuras were included. They sometimes changed my life completely. I want to begin with a few words about my educational way, a way that might be familiar to many of you. I knew quite early what I want to do, but due to the path of the system provided by the state and also by my parents, I went through the regular school system, followed by university and graduated as an engineer. It was okay for me because I knew nothing else. Also, it took me quite a while to go this path. I was distracted so many times by things which all had to do with my vision of a sustainable life. Education experts often compare children with a white paper. That's okay for me, but I have to add one thing if we're talking of a white paper and meaning the knowledge of children as a white paper. It's just the children's right themselves to write on this paper, to write their own story, their own book, just as the German philosopher and former state minister for culture, Nida Rümelin, once said, to be the author of their own life. Our job as coaches, as teachers, or as parents is to accompany them, open them spaces for creativity, and let their natural born talents grow and develop. The question I want to answer in this talk today is, how can you become the author of your own life? And my answer for that is by natural learning. Natural learning means learning driven by interest and enthusiasm. It means to learn in your own speed and order, such as children learn to run or to speak in the very, very beginning. This includes getting experience by trial and error. You try to run, you fall down, you stand up, you try to run again. You can enjoy making mistakes and discovering them yourself. No child makes mistakes on purpose. And not always mistakes found by somebody else, such as teachers, are real mistakes. They can appear as new discoveries even, just as the discoveries of Galileo Galilei with the heliocentric world system or Albert Einstein with the theory of relativity. An important learning is to continuously reflect on these errors. This means you need feedback loops that bring you sometimes back to trial and error and then start again, just like the child who's standing up always when he's falling down. These are very important steps in the beginning. You do them mostly alone, just for yourself. No child is watching his parents in the beginning when it starts to run. It's just getting up and running. The second step would be that you let others, close friends, coaches, also parents, take part in your discovery and let their feedback change your learning process in a self-determined way. That means not changing completely, but adding some parts which seem to be important for you. If you learn to act self-confident, critics can be very positive. They make you question your practice and the theory and improve them if you find it relevant. Don't mix self-confident up with arrogant. meaning you know already everything. A thing teachers sometimes do. They just tell you something and tell you that it's right, but even they don't let others just question this thing. The next thing, you share your experience and discoveries to a broader public. As you already run through several loops of trial and error, there's not much question about right or wrong anymore in what you're doing. Share your enthusiasm and be contagious with it. Others want to take part in your discoveries, and you can be their teacher. So that means that you not really share what you do or what you have done. Share all your interests, all your feelings with it. And then sometimes, like in marketing, actually, when you share the product itself, it doesn't mean too much because products can be changed. But if you share your values or your interest or your enthusiasm when you do these things, then it's completely different. People are getting really interested. What is needed for a learning experience like this? In 2015, I founded Colearning Vienna with 2 colleagues. We had a vision of a prepared surrounding, just as Maria Montessori said, where natural learning can happen. One key concept actually for me was the concept of the magic 3 from Axel Burov, written in the book Team Flow. The first magic was 3 qualities for handling challenges, which are from the salutogenetic access to the stress reduction by Aaron Antonovsky. And he said that tasks have to be understandable, personally significant, and manageable. The second of the magic 3 are 3 principles of the theory of self-determination by Edward Deci and Richard Ryan, which support good performance and personal development. And they say it's self-determination, it's the experience of competence, of your own competence, and it's the experience of meaning and belonging. And the third of the magic 3 are 3 additional factors added by Axel Burov himself. That is an appreciative interaction between the students or the team himself, or between the teacher, the coach, the boss even, and the team. Then a shared vision and a plan that is an implementation plan that is jointly agreed by all participants, so the whole team and the boss and the coach, for example. And by implementing this magic 3, we build up a field where a creative teamwork is possible. Anything is possible in this field, including characteristics we often consider negatively, such as egoism and individualism. So not a team doesn't mean that you're not your own anymore. You can be there fully, completely as you. Everyone is completely present in this field. And if there is a common vision and an implementation plan that has been jointly agreed, then the individuals can work independently at their own pace. So it's also important that this plan contains specific goals and steps to meet them. If there is an appreciative interaction within the group, then each individual can ask questions in order to make the topic understandable and manageable. For me, especially in this time where children are at home again, like starting this week in Austria, 2 of my children are at home again, distance learning. The big problem is that the students didn't really learn to confidently ask teachers. Teachers are the ones who tell where to go. And now they're at home, and who is the person they are always asking? Not the teachers, not the people who are responsible for them. It's mostly not asking, or asking parents or somebody else, but not the teachers. Teachers can be a person who can really be asked and can be honest if they don't know the answer. So these questions are not questions when you don't know anything. These questions can be thought-provoking also, or give you the opportunity to check whether you yourself have understood everything by answering them. So if somebody asks you something and you might think, okay, but I've explained it already, then it might be you haven't explained it properly, or there is something wrong in this, or just that somebody hasn't understood it, and you can try to explain it in a different way, which makes you also able to really check if you understood the thing and not repeating something of your knowledge. So Sir Ken Robinson unfortunately died this summer in August. A British author and education expert says there are 4 important roles for a learning coach: engaging, expecting, enabling, and empowering. 3 of them are self-explaining and often practiced by teachers. New in this concept for me is the word expecting. What does it mean for me? There is a Buddhist saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. They ask or show interest for something. Every parent knows that. Sometimes it's already tiresome, this question from small children. What is this? How does this work? And mostly the first answer you give is not accepted. Children insist on getting another answer so they can decide what's right for them, especially for them. Another key principle is based on the African verb. Key principle of Colearning Vienna is based on the African proverb: it needs a child to raise, it needs a village to raise a child, We created in Colearning Vienna a surrounding with a co-working area for adults, a learning center for children and people of all ages, a food corporation, a small cafe in the center for seminars and workshops. This setting enables learning by real projects. So students learn from adults doing their real job, not something, just really their job. They learn how to run a cafe or a food corporation, and even how to serve clients politely. And the funny thing is, that's all about mathematics. It's about natural science. It's about communication. And they naturally need social skills to come along with their work. There is this one quote from Steve Jobs, I remember: great things are never done by single persons. They are done by a team. So in Colearning Vienna, learning coaches accompany small groups of students. These groups are mixed and formed by different criteria, such as interest, age, or knowledge. The coaches open a space for a learning process driven by enthusiasm and interest. And as the students have to pass a formal exam once a year in Austria, at the end of the school year, there is also some formal criteria from the official curriculum for each grade to fulfill. A third concept is either Scrum. Many of you might Scrum from HL job settings. Either Scrum is an adaptation to this project management concept, especially for learning settings. And this tool gives us as coaches and the students also an overview of the tasks to be accomplished and to reach a jointly agreed goal. So I'm coming already to an end with a quote by Peter Sensch, senior lecturer at the MIT and former director of the Center of Organizational Learning. He said in a speech with Otto Scharmer, or in an interview actually with Otto Scharmer, there were so many examples where a group of people suddenly comes to a crucial point. The moment where the whole group recognizes the whole as a whole. What does this mean? If everybody just considers his point of view, he might think, or we as a group might see a pink elephant. Everything fits together. Just the one person only seeing his pink tongue cannot imagine the elephant to be gray. So there is a tiny practice for you to avoid such things. Just replace but by and. So instead of saying, but I see it is pink, say, and I see something pink. So you add just this pink to a gray elephant because everybody else sees it gray. Thanks for your attention. I'm happy to answer your questions.